The Whiskey Brothers podcast is intended for an adult listening audience. If you find yourself easily offended, I guarantee this will do it.
They don't want no problems, nah.
From Houston, Texas, the Whiskey Brothers podcast starts now.
Welcome to the Whiskey Brothers podcast, episode 968. We are on our way. Trey Tutson, Jerry Wayne Longmire, uncomfortably across the table. For me, your host, Slade Ham, and of course, our guest this week, Abbey Vollman, previous guest on this earlier week's episode. Standout on Is This Thing On? And welcome to the show, everybody.
He gets so uncomfortable when you touch me.
Yeah, what is that about?
Well,
Why
so
do you not like
because
gentlemen?
you touch him and then you look at us across the table like, do you see what I'm doing?
Yes,
Is
it's
it bad?
exact. It's
And I just
exactly.
sit here and enjoy it. I like being touched.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
Abby, my eyes just do that.
so why?
Who doesn't like being stroked gently?
So why don't the two of you tell me what part of that made me uncomfortable?
I don't know. You gotta get comfortable in your own skin, brother. It's
Yeah.
2021. Things is a changing.
Totally, you're right. I'm gonna go ahead and own that one. Cheers to my deficiencies.
My deficiency. It's all good, man.
That's hilarious.
No, I just it's just funny touching. Oh shit, you broke him.
It tickled me.
That's
Like you.
so. Wow. I am on a ship. We're
Nick
wrapping.
Cage.
We're
No, I'm
wrapping
just
that up this week. We have lots of shows for you to watch. Lots of ways to participate in what we're doing. A lot of that is happening on our YouTube page. If you go to YouTube, The Whiskey Brothers, you can find not just all of the full episodes that we do of The Whiskey Brothers or of Is This Thing On. You can also get some best of clips. You can get some bite-sized pieces. There's some shareable elements. You can also follow a lot of what else we're doing on YouTube. We were talking about your special coming out Thanksgiving Day on
Not Thanksgiving Day. That's
no.
the weekend after.
the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Just when everybody's tired of
Or the weekend
family
before Thanksgiving.
and just
What
wants
date?
to sit down and watch November 27th.
27th. When is Thanksgiving?
25th.
Okay. Yeah. So okay. Okay.
I didn't want to try to do it on Black Friday because that's a big bar night. And that's when everybody likes to go out on Black Friday and all that
Okay.
stuff. And then during the day, they trample each other and what
You've
have you.
sufficiently confused me. Saturday then?
Saturday.
Okay. So November 27th.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
I'm
That's
afraid of this shot.
Why are you afraid? It's really good whiskey.
What happens is I come here and I drink and then I leave and I change my life.
Oh.
So I kind of like relax. That's all.
Oh, pass
No,
me the
go
shot.
ahead.
I'm trying to change my
Yeah,
life.
right.
Ain't no amount of shots are going to make you have to get on that boat. It's just going to suck more.
Yeah.
So we do have we have
Yes.
lots of ways to follow us. You can if you're interested in what Trey and I did while we were overseas. There's a series of Slade Runner episodes that have been documenting that trip, and the latest one shows us jumping off the mountain in Garmisch, which was really cool.
Yeah.
I love that reel you did of the hotel room
The
bed.
sleeping on the suitcase.
But
Oh, you
God
like that?
almighty,
Okay.
people just can't wait to get on there and drag you for it. It's the funniest shit.
Oh,
Every day
oh.
there's 3 notifications, and they're all saying the same thing. That suitcase is filthy. It was in the bottom of the airplane.
You know,
Yeah.
but
the
here's
throw
the,
is filthy. I'm like, y'all are some weak motherfuckers.
I want to fuck those people, dude. It's those people.
I eat a bologna sandwich off that throw and lay on that suitcase and lick it.
Oh,
I ain't
no,
worried
no.
about none of that.
They're right. That throw is disgusting.
My immune
However,
system works.
those people they've never created anything. They can't just laugh at a bit. They got to
Yeah,
know
yeah.
the backstory on everything.
Yeah.
It's
Those people. Yeah, those are
It
shitty.
is so funny.
Yeah.
It's
So
weird. The pieces of shit that is the internet, or that make up the internet. It's strange to me because one of my most popular videos is just a video of my brother knocking a cup out of my hand.
That's all they care
hard
about.
as fuck, and him saying somebody just slapped your mom, and I go, bro, stop snitching. That's the whole thing of the video, right? Well, this motherfucker, the most popular comment on there is, make a part 2. I'm like, of what? Like, how? I don't know. Of what?
You need to post it in reverse.
Yeah,
Or the cup
what
just
I
flies
fucking
back
do.
up to your
Bro,
head.
stop snitching.
Part 2.
That might
That
be.
is the
Hey,
most
yo, yo, yo,
annoying
yo, yo.
comment. Because so when I went viral for taking my fish to the vet, and people said make a part 2, I was like, I'm not doing this
Yeah,
again.
what?
I was like, I'm $200 in the hole
On a goldfish or
on
a
a
beta.
fucking beta fish.
Stop
Yeah.
a sec. This has been a question of mine for. I'm not kidding you. If you have the answer, I I have been what I wanted to know. I've wanted to know why there aren't fish vets for so long.
So he's considered an exotic animal.
Mm-hmm.
So when I took him to the emergency, I took him to the emergency vet, and they told me that I had to wait for the emergency vet tech. They like called her and like woke her up.
She's
and
the
told
fish
her to
girl.
Come in. Yeah.
She's the fish girl.
Yeah.
So that's a.
I just imagine
what's
somebody
wrong?
sitting in the ER with their sick dog, a member of their family, and
I was
upset
fucking
and look over and there's a girl crying with a beta.
These
You know
two,
what?
these two right here don't understand you. Okay, this
Yeah.
is
Hold on.
Trey, look at Trey, who has undoubtedly killed a dog for having the sniffles. And
Oh my god.
and Jerry, fuck him, he'll live. That's
Listen.
a.
What accusation is coming my way?
The thing is.
Yeah, I feel like you accidentally sat on a dog. No, I have.
Yeah, but it didn't kill him.
Close that screen door. And hand me that whiskey.
Maybe you say, Tina, give me that whiskey.
That's. I feel like no, but I feel like there's a certain level of sentience an animal has to have before you'll have an emotional attachment to it.
No, dogs, honestly, I never really gave a fuck about dogs because I grew up out in the country where animal lives are very expendable.
That's what I'm saying.
And dogs just get run over and shot and, run off and shit like that. So the only dog I've ever been attached to is that one me and Rachel had for like 13 years. And I cried and bawled over that stupid
But if you had a dog right now and you had it for like 2 years and it got sick and you had to just put it down, where would you be on the emotional scale?
I would be sad, while I was loading the gun or whatever, but I just would just be like, well, this is the way it went for you. Sorry, bud.
I was thinking you would have taken it to a vet for an injection.
That's
you over here
$300.
putting
No.
shotgun shells.
That's $300.
In terms of
This
like
is
animals,
$1.69.
oh my god.
Shit. I do it.
There's probably go echo on the patio, but
I'm sorry you got this eye infection.
so my point is, don't let these two savages on the other side of the table talk you out of crying over your bag of fish.
No. The thing is, I love.
One fish.
It was one fish. I loved Gary.
Wait, that's how do you? I didn't pluralize it. I said fish.
You
You
said a
said
bag
fish.
of fish.
Well,
A
fish
bag
is
of
the
fish.
plural of fish.
What
Like,
is-
let's get
what
that
is-
out of the way.
Bag o' fish.
Bag,
I
yeah,
got you.
fish is the plural of fish. But like, I loved Gary more
Damn.
than I've like
It's fishies.
loved. Yeah, it's
Fishies.
Wait, you
not.
gave it a
It's not
human?
fishy.
It's fishies.
It's not
Hang on, you gave it a human name?
Gary.
Oh, this is weird.
Even though I named.
Gary,
Okay,
does he work an accountant?
I felt bad. My Jack Russell was named Tina.
That's
I gave it like a trailer
Tina's-
trash name.
you can't human name your animals.
Well, what else am I supposed to fucking name? I don't know, cause
Fucking
I
dog.
I gave him
Fish.
I gave him the pineapple from SpongeBob, so that's why I named him Gary.
Okay.
So like
All right,
it's
I like that, I like that, I like
it's
that, I
a
like
it's a
that.
character thing.
Pet snail.
Oh yeah.
SpongeBob
Right,
the
the
pet
pet
snail,
snail
I
that makes me
got you.
SpongeBob, you know.
I got you.
It
Cool.
was fun when the Jack Russell would run off in Conroe and I'd
You're
start
good.
hollering, Tina,
Tina!
and all these bitches turning around in the street.
Tina, get your ass back here.
What?
It was in Conroe though, so most of them were just like, he
Right.
ain't got his woman in line.
Right. Dude, I don't know what's worse because okay, so I was a vegan for 3 years when I was in high school. I was a vegan because
Very brave of you.
I wanted to be very annoying. I like attention. You don't understand. You don't understand the amount of attention you get when you go somewhere and you're like, so what can I eat here?
Yeah, I can tell you this:
Like-
high school vegan girl checks all the boxes.
Right.
Yeah.
That was
White.
me. That,
White.
right. That you don't. There's no more boxes. It's just white. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that was me. But then like now I don't know if it's like better or worse to be like, oh yeah, I took my fish to the emergency vet,
took
or
my-
I was a vegan. Like I
That
feel like
is
they're.
no, I took my fish to the vet is the greatest opening line for any conversation.
I've never.
ever.
That's,
I'm in immediately. I'm like, what?
And
They
that's
got
how I
vets for
open
fishes?
that's
my-
your
my
Tinder
shit
profile.
sometimes,
That's that's a so.
I have put that on a dating app before.
I was gonna say it belongs
Yeah.
at the top of your dating app profile. But more than that, what did the vet do?
They didn't do shit, Slade.
because
they,
they're fish vets.
Yeah, well, they took him behind a curtain and they like slammed it real dramatically. I was crying, and they brought him out. They were like, "We think your fish is fine." We did one thing: we weighed him, but the scale couldn't find Gary because Gary weighs less than a gram.
Wait, this is what kind of fish is this?
They didn't know
It's
they're
a beta fish.
Wait, it's a fucking beta.
I've been feeding him, and I was like, he still weighs less than a gram.
Wait a second.
They should have called their plugs. They
Right.
had a
That's what I
scale.
said. Because I was like, dude, I got conned.
This isn't a some $60 exotic fish.
No, no,
This
no.
a ping pong ball fair fish.
Yeah, well, okay, so he's a rescue fish. I actually spent no money on this fish
You
until
didn't even
I
win
kidnapped
this fish?
him.
This motherfucker
No.
stole this nigga out of Walmart.
I
now
stole
he a
I
rescue.
stole the fish from my old roommate. Legit.
Who
And I
did
took-
or did not care as deeply about the fish as you do.
So
no,
is that a
I,
rescue or a kidnapping?
He's,
Yes.
so he's a rescue. But then when I moved out of her place, I did take him with me.
So you just, for a while, you just lived with the fish.
Right. So I was sleeping in a room, and I was living in a room, and then she had Gary in like the spare room right across from me, and she never cared about him and never fed him, and it really started to weigh on me.
And she never took him to the vet.
That's fair.
Never.
Oh, of course
Not
not. No
once.
vet visits at all.
And then like his cage, not his cage, his tank was like fucking disgusting. And I would like go in there and I would see him and I'd be like, man, you're still alive, like.
Yeah, it's like if you call a
Finally-
cage a tank, it's not a cage.
Right. Oh, dude, I was like, one day I was like, shit, I gotta do something. So I started doing a lot of research on betta fish, and it turns out
that they're
I'm-
not as assertive as alpha fish.
I'm like an aquarium hobbyist now. It's like the thing I do for me that like I go back to my therapist and I'm like, I just thought about aquariums for a day.
So
and
do
I
you
had
build?
no issues.
Are you building Gary like very specific ecosystems now?
Well, so actually this is so random. That's legitimately a goal of mine because you can build aquariums that are like self-functioning ecosystems. And you have to do it very gradually, but I'm like working towards that cuz then you would never have to do anything. You would just
So
live on
what
its
I
own.
would-
did one of those for turtles one time. It was
Yeah,
pretty
you could do
cool.
it for turtles, you could do it for frogs, you can do it for like lizards and things, and I choose to do it for a fish. Listen,
Trey, I'm going to give you 2 seconds to ring in. I know there are some objections from,
I
the,
know, I
from the
know.
confused black court.
I see it all
okay,
across your
go,
face.
go.
White people.
No, I mean,
It's nothing I haven't heard before.
And that is every
Make a part
genre
2.
of you motherfuckers.
I know.
But I mean, well, I was actually gonna say I can agree with sort of the emotion behind having a fish, but it's not the fish. It's what the fish represents.
Right. Well,
So-
I went viral because of the fish.
So you got So
and I was
Gary,
like, I got a following and I got like opportunities I wouldn't have gotten without this fish, and it's really fucking weird.
Gary's
But
putting
now,
in
like,
work.
thank you. Like, and he's a little bit of a diva, but that's a whole other thing. Like it's very, very weird to be like, oh yeah, people see my stand up on TikTok all the time because of my fish. And then if my stand up is not about my fish, they will comment and be like, where's your fish?
Oh, that's
So is your first album just gonna be called Gary?
I guess.
Well, so here's the thing. But more importantly, when and I hate to
It'd have to
I hate
be.
to I hate to go there, and I hate to go to the dark place, but
damn.
when eventually $300 in medical science can't save Gary, will you just get a Gary 2 and not tell anybody?
So
Or are you going to have a big dramatic because if you have a big dramatic online death, people are just going to leave.
right.
If
so
Gary lives
that is
forever.
exactly why I haven't told my TikTok followers that Gary has actually died. Yeah.
Did we just have
You
our
know,
first
I'm actually
breakout moment
I'm
here
a
on the-
little concerned because I'm like, have you been stalking me? Like, you just revealed my entire plan. I haven't told anybody Gary's dead, and I don't think I'm going to. I did get another fish,
you're
and it's
telling them
another
now.
rescue.
But does it look exactly like Gary?
No, it doesn't look
Stop.
exactly like Gary. Like, they're
Stop
different.
stealing fish. I'm sick of your. No. I'm gonna call you for what it is. You're a little thieving ass motherfucker. We are not riding to Austin together tomorrow. You might
Listen.
steal my goddamn ashtray
Listen.
change, and now you got a fucking coin following.
Maybe
Not
she
to
could
make
get
it
another fish.
religious, but I don't understand. Like, God has a purpose for everybody according to the Christians, right? Well, if the Christian God is real, or like whatever I think is God wants me to take unstable bitches fish because I'm not kidding. My old roommate, fucking bananas. This girl I took, his name is Larry, my new fish. Larry from bonkers, bananas, insane.
Can you stop naming them after
Wait, hang on.
niggas you've ruined?
How do Two,
'Cause
how
I
do
feel
you
like there's two just dismantled
I'm
Gary
naming them
and
like
Larry.
how do you
after
know
sugar daddies.
well now we know that she's naming them, but prior to
Um,
that you didn't know she was naming these fish. Maybe she was just stealing fish that rhyme with airy.
Right.
Oh, fair
Maybe
enough.
she just got a type.
Well, I'm sensing a pattern.
Yes.
Well, I feel like people need to stop putting me in the presence of girls
Fish?
who are mentally unstable that choose to buy betta fish. I literally took this fish off this girl's counter because she was drunk and I was also drunk, and I was trying to find food in her apartment, and I lifted up a plastic H-E-B bag and there was a fish in a cup, and I looked at her and I was like, I didn't know her very well, and I was like, what the fuck were you planning to do?
You know, but you knew her
Like-
well enough to find a fish in a cup in her kitchen.
I
Has
mean-
Larry even been to the vet?
Larry?
God damn it.
Larry is not ever gonna go to the vet because we've learned our lesson.
So
Like,
that fish vets are not real.
If he's sick, he's sick. Also, Larry, he's nowhere as cool as Gary. You know what I mean? Like Larry, he's a little.
It doesn't have that stun factor.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Gary not only survived like neglect from my old roommate, he survived moving literal like homes and like apartments, and he also survived the freeze, which I thought the freeze was for sure gonna take him out because
Oh,
there's no
that's tough.
power. So I was like, oh, his water's gonna freeze and he's gonna die.
So
He
what killed
lived.
him?
I think honestly, this is kind of dark. I think he had cancer because he had like a growth, and I noticed it, and I was kind of like, what am I gonna? I'm gonna take him to the vet again.
Man, do you think that the vet? Man, I'll tell you this: if you took that
is
fish to the vet
fucking-
and they came back out with your fish has fish cancer, you would have the biggest YouTube channel.
I know.
Can you
I
imagine
just-
if the veterinarian oncologist came out?
That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, I'm just the vet. I'm just the regular fish doctor. Let me get the fish vet. Let me
Right.
get the fish oncologist.
They told me I could like take him in for special testing if I wanted to, and I was like, no, I'm already 200 in the hole. I'm
fuck
fine.
are they keeping this fish alive?
I don't know.
Let me explain something to you.
That was
When we
like,
talking about
know how
fish,
fish work.
representing, this is bothering the fuck out of me.
listen. It
No,
was
no,
on-
you listen for 2 seconds, goddammit. I just want to say, I don't know how they doing this. It's all right.
I feel
These people
robbed.
should make a fucking gajillion dollars a year. The fact they keeping this goddamn fish alive. I don't know how the fuck you managed to do it. When I had the circle, we got a motherfucking betta fish, and the fish represented the circle.
Right, the circle being your
My
your
wife-
threesome relation. You,
Yeah,
your
my wife and our
y'all's
girlfriend. All right, we got the shit going on. We all taking turns.
caring for the
Fucking,
fish.
all right, 3 days. Shay goes over. She's like, "Oh, y'all, Blue dead." And then we was like, "Well, that's the end of this shit." Like that was it. Like it died. So,
That's what I mean.
I went with my granny got my
but
grandpa.
he was in water. We never took this motherfucker
I'm
out
more-
to examine his asshole.
Well, I took him out in water.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's laying him on a table. Is
Yeah,
that
dude.
How did they take a
That's what the fuck
fish's
I'm imagining.
Dude, I fucking
Because I know how they
sped.
did it with my dog.
Yeah, I imagine it's not a thermometer where you think a
Right.
thermometer goes. I imagine you just measure the water temperature and go, that.
Probably about
That.
that.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm more concerned about the fact that nobody was like, Abby, are you okay?
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean? Like,
it's I'm now real
I was
talk.
going through shit. Like when I made that
Well, see,
decision.
my grandpa was recovering from heart surgery, and she got him an aquarium and a bunch of fish because the doctor told her that looking at them fish every evening
Uh-huh.
would help him settle down. And it was going good for about a week until she fucked up the water chemistry. And he's sitting there in the chair, and the fish just start turning over and floating up
No.
like one by one.
So you know where I stand on this. Look,
and I had to call ambulance because he started having a heart attack.
Do you need help lifting that?
you know where I stand on this. I have hosted a Thunderdome of fish ownership. It's yes. So that tank is so the big orange one. Fans of the show know has been around for about 5 or 6 years.
Aw.
He or she is a warrior and an asshole. They've also killed almost every other fish that's been in that tank. They've gone through probably 30 or 40 different fish. The yellow one maintains. The yellow one is like the dude. He abides, lives in his little hole, comes out like he wants to. The orange one killed him once. I brought him back to life. There's a whole lot of drama
He
in
has
this
fun
tank.
seizures.
You see this?
He wigs out.
But I brought him back to life. There was no chance that at any
All right,
point I was
well.
going to put that fish in a bag and put it in my car
Okay, a
and
cup.
drive a cup, and then drive it with a lid on it. I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
with a
okay,
lid
cool.
on it.
like
and
a
then
Sonic
a
cup?
sippy
Or
cup.
just-
Like his
what do you
travel
have?
cup.
Travel cup.
Look at Adam. Look at Adam. Adam's missing cuts right now because of you, Abby. I hope you're proud of yourself.
I am, thank you.
A fish leash. The point is that
Put him on a
whatever
stringer.
happens in that tank has to happen within the confines of that tank. I go in and all I do is play a little god, right? Like I
Right.
move some pieces around. If one fish killed a fish and I think that fish still has a chance at life, let me get you out the corner, little buddy.
All right, well, maybe you need to teach me how to keep do like emergency CPR or something.
I know. The
But you
perfect
gotta
thing.
accept the fact that some of them aren't gonna make it.
I know your method is to just flush the fish.
It
All
wasn't
right.
even flush it.
Uh-huh.
Just move the fuck on. You ain't gotta do shit.
All
But
right.
move on.
You're not my therapist.
You
We don't need to
motherfucker-
talk about
Yeah,
this.
That's fine. But if you gonna be motherfucking walking around trying not to spill this nigga while you
It's not
driving,
even that deep.
you door dashing this motherfucker to a.
What if
Like you
what
just
if
ordered
a cop
it.
pulled me over? You know what I mean? Because I was
3 minutes
definitely
away.
speeding.
You over here like you try to get back to your
Right.
table with a new martini.
For real though.
Don't look at it. That's the only thing.
Yeah. Just,
You can't.
I
'cause
want to
you-
hear
you
that
can't look at
conversation
it.
with the cop.
Right. Well,
Sorry,
does
my
it pull
fish
you
is
over,
dying.
miss, if you've been drinking and be like, "What's in the cup holder?" No, officer, this is my fish.
That's
It's
you know what's
I'm also not on meth. Don't ask.
you know
what I
what's good advice is whatever drink you're drinking in the car, just always keep an extra fish with you, and then in a pinch, bloop,
bloop.
mean? In a pinch.
just throw the fish in there
Fish is fucking done.
and
That's
tell the
hilarious.
cops like, "What are you drinking?" "Oh, it's just for my fish."
That's what I mean. Gary
Nichols and
was a
Jack
resilient
Daniels.
little dude because he survived me, and I,
Well, wait, what you
put him
said?
through a lot.
What did you? What's the worst life a fish could have?
I don't know. I feel like he was a well-traveled fucking fish. I
Good,
mean,
he's got a to-go cup.
Jesus. Yeah.
More well traveled than if he was in the ocean. Done with your motherfucking ass. He
Betas
was
don't
well
live in
traveled
the
in this
ocean,
cup.
Trey.
He went
Listen.
3 lights.
I'm not the one that bought him from Petco. That's not my cross to bear.
Motherfucker sold.
Where is? Can I ask? What is the natural habitat of the beta fish?
It's freshwater.
Is
Streams.
it?
I know
Yeah, it's
freshwater,
freshwater.
but when you say streams and ponds, I've been to streams and ponds.
Oh yeah. Texas all the way up through Kansas and shit. Yeah, they're everywhere.
They just got beta fish in the
Yeah,
rivers
yeah,
and
yeah.
lakes, in the
Yeah,
rivers and
beta
ponds.
They're
fish,
predators,
guppies,
yeah.
all those fish.
What?
Yeah.
They
They're
don't come from.
violent.
Yeah. I mean, you don't catch them with a fishing pole. You got to be.
Yeah.
They don't come from some other country.
Well, there's probably versions of them that do.
But the ones she's taken to the vet.
I don't know. I
don't know.
didn't inspect.
I don't know. I just know what
Us.
their dick looks like.
That's
They don't have one. They just spray out
Look
sperm.
at that.
Yeah,
Look, this
yeah.
guy here. They just shoot it. He knows. It's
They
fucking
spray out
amazing,
sperm
man.
on top
See,
of the
I feel like
eggs.
Jerry really knows his beta fish, and I really feel like you're the only one that doesn't know anything about fish, Trey. So I'm feeling really attacked.
I do
I'm
know what they
kidding.
do. They end threesomes.
I know.
All right, well, cheers. I'll drink
So
it.
sorry.
My friend.
Yeah, back on Team Trey. That's so where were we? We were trying to
Where were we?
we were
Where
trying to
were
get
we?
to something.
We were at Club
Originally, we were going to
Right.
open the show and we were going to talk about Nick Cage. Now I don't
Right.
remember why. We got sidetracked with fish stuff.
All right. So your little goof ass was you were looking up or you were in New Orleans.
I was in New Orleans.
which
yeah.
I've never really been to.
It was fun.
Been to
Oh,
Covington.
New Orleans. Yeah, New Orleans. That's not no. That's
I
like
just said I've
yeah.
been to Covington. I said that's not New Orleans.
yeah, but that's like
It's
that's
New Orleans adjacent.
wait, no, not even
No.
that. That's
Just
Katy-
say,
it's the
say you've
Katy
been
of
to
New
6th
Orleans.
Street. You
no,
know what I mean?
that's just you can't.
Yeah.
It shouldn't even. Covington
What?
should never come up in a New Orleans conversation.
Why? Why should it not? It's
Why?
right there by it.
Why should it? That's like someone going. I've never heard of Trey Tutson, but I've
Laplace is closer to
yeah,
New Orleans
yeah,
Yeah.
than
not even
Covington.
yeah.
That's great.
You were in New Orleans.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And you weren't.
And I wasn't. And while you were there,
While I was there,
taking your fish to the vet.
right. That's it.
New
Yep.
Orleans tropical.
No,
fish
I did
fare.
other white people shit in New Orleans. I went on a ghost tour.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah. I'm really becoming the epitome of myself, I'm realizing. But yeah, we went on a ghost tour, and the tour guide took us to the Lalaurie Mansion, which is like, that awful place where that horrible woman had like slaves and like other people just like chained up, and she was a necrophiliac, a weirdo. But it's a really, supposedly very haunted place. And he was talking about like people who've owned the house over the years, and Nicolas Cage at one point actually owned the Lalaurie Mansion. What? And he tried to live in there with like one of his wives, I don't know. And like they started experiencing like all of this misfortune and like bad luck, and they were
what happened? The TV keep playing his movies.
No, well, so the best part about this is that legitimately during the time that he owned this house, he made Ghost Rider 2, and it performed terribly in box offices.
Well, so
like-
did the first one. Did he own
Yeah,
the house
right.
then?
Yeah,
So like,
that's
so
the money he bought the
obviously,
house with.
right. Clearly, the issue is demonic ghosts and spirits. Is
Yeah.
why Ghost Rider 2 sucked.
And not his,
Um,
well, I know he had a lot of bad luck in New Orleans, but I thought that was called alcoholism.
Right. Well, so get this. He also got very, very publicly intoxicated at a pub called Harry's Pub, which was a stop on this ghost tour. And they said like he went off the rails and he was just so drunk publicly, and everybody's like, oh, Nick Cage, blah, blah, blah. So he decided that all of this bad luck and misfortune was because of the Lalaurie Mansion. So he went to some chick who's in the bloodline of the Voodoo Queen, Madame Marie Laveau. She
I almost said Madame Tussauds. That's the wax chick.
that's the wax
Yeah,
lady.
sorry.
Yeah, different lady.
No, none of these bitches.
I don't know. Still dolls involved.
You remember the wax Ed Sheeran that was outside in
Yeah.
Berlin?
Okay.
That was a Madame Tussauds wax museum.
Did it look
Okay.
like Ed Sheeran, or did it look like kind of
It
off?
I'll show you
looked,
him.
It looked so
No,
real.
ours are
It
amazing.
was
It
one
looked
of the best.
That's
It was one of the
hilarious.
best I've ever
It
seen.
looks
You
so
go to
good.
that
That's kinda
Vegas,
scary.
that Vegas exhibition is incredible.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
this was really good. And then I almost said Madame Curie, who is totally different too.
Yeah.
So,
she invented
Totally different
radiation.
accomplishments.
so where are we at? Marie Laveau.
Oh yes, okay. So Madame Marie Laveau, her daughter or great granddaughter, not her daughter, her great granddaughter, or her granddaughter, they're like the new voodoo queen, bloodline wise. So Nick Cage went to them for advice, and she told him that he needs a tomb to get rid of all the bad luck that he accumulated from owning that house. So he sold the house, and now Nicolas Cage has an above ground tomb at a cemetery.
He's got a mausoleum in New Orleans?
Yes, and it's right next to Madame Marie Laveau. So when he dies, he's gonna be above ground next to her.
Oh,
And
let me
that's
guess. They
supposedly
sold
gonna-
that to him. You know what you need?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me tell you what you need. It will
Oh.
only cost you $150,000.
100%.
And I only have one of them.
Right.
We could also freeze your head.
Yeah.
Right. And then when he died, apparently owning that tomb is keeping that bad juju off of him. Which I
in
mean,
an afterlife or in what?
I don't even know. I was kind of like, man, the timeline of it being during Ghost Rider 2.
When the alternative was maybe just stop drinking and making
So
bad
do you-
choices.
so here-
right.
So
Maybe
so
stop buying haunted houses. How about that?
Also that.
Let's start there.
you knew when you moved in. It's not like they hid this from you
Right.
on the house facts.
Well, what
Did you see anything on the ghost tour that I don't know if you believe in ghosts, or we can get into
yeah,
that.
I
Do
do.
you
but-
believe in ghosts?
Oh, 100%.
Oh
I'm
boy.
done with, I'm all the
No,
way
no,
done.
no.
You're taking fish to vet and you believe in ghosts.
I know. I'm sorry.
The
I'm
fuck
white.
are
Let
you?
me
So
let-
all right. So hang on though. So
Hey, don't be
one.
blaming that on white now, goddamn.
Let's start here. Hang on.
I believe in the Holy
okay.
Spirit.
So let's start here. So before we get into ghosts in general, on this particular tour, did you see or encounter anything supernatural?
Yes. Well, so I didn't see it with my eyes.
But someone told you.
No, my camera actually on my phone.
Oh, an orb.
Um,
I'm sorry. I'm
no,
gonna
it's-
be like the cattiest of
You
assholes.
can
when it
be
comes to-
catty. It's totally fine. My friend who was with me, she's like a total skeptic. But we were at this pharmacy, which is like the architecture of the building is one of the oldest buildings in New Orleans that still has French architecture because the city burned down a bunch,
Right.
and they rebuilt it. But it was a pharmacy where allegedly it's haunted by two ghosts of two kids who died from bloodletting when they were sick, and a mad scientist kind of character who died from syphilis, psychosis due to syphilis.
Okay.
And there's an alleyway, and it's not open to the public or anything. And I was also kind of tipsy too by the time I was on this ghost tour. So I just took a burst of photos in this alleyway.
'Kay.
And I don't know, man. I feel very clearly you can see somebody walking.
Okay. Okay. So
So wait, let me play you the live photo.
Did you have to
Okay.
pay to go down
Here's
this
the thing.
alleyway?
If you send me this photo though, if you send me the photo, I'll process it because I can Okay, fucking maybe, but those could be legs.
They are. So that's what I'm saying. They are legs, but okay. So I'll
But
send.
then-
I'll send you all the photos later.
Right.
Because
But then
in the burst, you see, it looks like somebody walking, and then they stop. Street performers. You know how they just
Right.
freeze? It looks like somebody freezes, and
here's-
then in the next they're gone.
So here's my question: in a city full of people, also a bunch of street performers, is it possible that was a person?
I mean, I kind of don't think so because I looked at all the timestamps of my photos because, like I said, I just went so if it is a person, they would have had to have walked out and then managed to walk away without my camera catching it in about like 1 second.
Have you ever encountered a crackhead?
Yes.
They're very sneaky.
Right.
Abby,
I'm not denying it. I'm just also saying it's kind of spooky.
You know what a chemical pregnancy is?
I don't.
It's like when your body think you pregnant, but it ain't.
Did you just
I
call
hadn't
it a
heard this one.
chemical pregnancy?
I'm sorry, that's the nigga version.
No,
That's
I'm
the
asking. I've
show
never
version
heard it
of
called a chemical. I've
Wait,
just,
what
have
have
you
you
known
heard
it
it called?
as?
I don't know, a pregnancy scare. Like, I don't.
False pregnancy.
Yeah, false pot. Like
We call it a chemical
A
pregnancy.
chemical pregnancy.
Because your body
What
is
chemical?
chemically behaving. It's like your
As if
body,
it's-
as in the
Right.
your body
Right.
is
That
acting
makes way
like-
more sense to
That's-
me. It should
Okay,
be called.
so hang on.
PMS, though.
That's what it's called. I don't know what the fuck. A scare. That
So
means
let
he
me
needs to pull out
let me
quicker.
back this up.
A
Let's-
scare is a pregnancy, just so you know.
Let's-
I had
Right.
a pregnancy scare.
Those
which
are one
means
and the same.
I
You ain't
had an abortion.
You ain't got to actually be pregnant to scare me. That's
Okay, fair
I'm just
enough.
saying because I feel like I've had a chemical pregnancy and it's terrifying. So
Yes.
Happy
so
Halloween.
it's a chemical break where your body's doing everything that's making. Or I'm not your, but
right,
the
right, right.
lady's body's doing everything to make her believe.
So I'm not gonna
that she
deny that
actually
either
is.
because like the intent was to like go and like see all of these supposedly haunted places. And,
you were in a,
like,
you
all
were in a
that shit.
receptive state.
Right. So I'm definitely like was
alcohols.
open
So
to seeing stuff, but I also like went through all of my other photos.
so here's my question though. In previous experiences, what is the most convincing ghost experience you've had?
The most
Because
convincing.
if it's those two fake ass legs in New Orleans, we got to talk.
No. So actually, when I was living with the chick when I stole her fish, before then, she
Say
kept.
that sentence again.
I stole her fish. She kept swearing like up and down that like the house was haunted, and I don't know if I really think it was haunted. I just think like she like just had very bad energy. Like I believe in energy, so like if she was
Well,
just,
it's real. Energy is
yeah,
real.
she was like a
That's how
mess,
we
and so
power the lights and
there
all
was-
kind of shit.
there was just
There's a lot
yeah.
of different
There's
kinds of
bad
energy in the
vibes.
world.
I
know.
want to be pro ghost. I've just never seen or heard
Never?
or
You
felt
never
or
had
not
I think
a-
it's good
that
to go
made you-
into it very skeptically
Not
because
even
like
for a
I
minute.
think it's easier to
Made
pick
you
up
doubt
vibes.
yourself?
bro. And I have been. I know somewhere on old episodes we've talked about this. My old comedy club was supposed to be haunted, not the one, the standalone, not the
The bank.
the bank.
Makes sense. Bank should be haunted.
Dude, it was from when I worked there before I owned it. I remember a guy coming in. He was a comic at the time, and I'll make all these stories quick because I know I've told them before. But at the time, I was bartending, and everybody would talk about how haunted the room was, and I laughed. And then this comic comes in at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was like, there was a noise, like something fell, whatever, back of house. And he goes, "What was that?" I was like, "Oh, it's the ghost," like jokingly. And he was like, "Shut up." I was like, "What?" He's like, "My whole family's super sensitive." And I was like, "Oh, Christ, here we go." I go, "Show me where the ghost is." And he looks around the room for a little while, and I know it's his first time there. And then he points from where this vault used to be to the stage, and he goes, "That part." Which weirdly is where people would see this form, and it would always happen at the end of the night after everybody had left, and the showroom was dark, but then the bar area was open. And that's where they would always see something move across the same line he pointed from. Again, I never saw shit. I sat up there so many nights, closing out, counting money, doing stuff by myself, literally being like, "Hey, ghost, do something."
In a super receptive state.
Absolutely receptive. As receptive as you could be. As many
As receptive as the tip
as
jar
many
got me.
receptives as I could have. But I also had waitresses. I had waitresses, two of them. One who was in the parking lot with her boyfriend making out in the car when what they said as they came running in scared, a shadowy form leaned into their window, and then like a human form but just made of black.
Yeah.
That
And then
was
leaned
Beaumont.
in and
That's called a
disappeared.
rapist.
Could have been. And then there was a night where a waitress came running out of the bathroom swearing that she saw a little girl sitting cross-legged on the counter when she went in to clean it. And all of this was after hours or whatever.
Right.
And clearly no girl, clearly no shadowy figure, clearly no nothing. And then they all went home, and I stayed up there drinking whiskey, counting money. Too many instances of no fucking ghosts where people say they're ghosts.
And my whole thing with the ghost shit is it's always something creepy, spooky, that kind of
Not
thing. It's
always.
never something positive. You never heard a motherfucker
It's
be
never
like,
positive, and they're always dressed from 200 years ago.
yeah.
There's never
It's
modern
not
ghosts.
exactly.
They always gotta have frilly fucking chest clothes.
Man, it's Ghost Show.
Well, now
Where
I
you
ain't
get
gonna
that?
tell y'all mine.
Where'd you get that bag of cash? Man, this motherfucking
Right.
Ghost showed up and just gave me this bag of money.
Wearing what? I don't know. Band T-shirts from
Uh,
the early 2000s.
He had on a
Kept
grunge
pointing to
shirt.
the windowsill. I pulled the windowsill
He
off.
had on
and
a throwback
Right.
Iverson. It was crazy.
Dressing up.
I'm not knocking that either, though. Like, some ghost shit is extra, extra goofy. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
hang
you're-
on, Jerry.
you're-
Tell us your
Yeah.
I'm not
ghost
going
story.
to. No.
Oh, he got fucked by
I
a
want,
ghost.
you, I want you to finish
I'm
the
done.
goofy story, but I want you to tell us yours now.
I had
I
this
don't.
ghost-
You don't get to check out of
Come
this.
on,
Is
man.
it wearing
Yeah.
Victorian clothes?
Where did the
No,
ghost
it didn't
touch
have
you?
Victorian clothes.
Come on. Where,
There was no touching.
Just show us on
come
Trey.
on.
Okay. Man, I don't want to tell this because y'all gonna think I'm stupid.
We ain't saying nothing. Ain't no
They
judgment.
already think I'm stupid, but I know.
I don't believe in ghosts, and I'm gonna tell you that because if ghosts were real, my mother would have already come back to haunt me.
Right.
So I don't believe in this shit. But when I was working at the old laugh stop back in the day, and I spent a lot of time there working by myself while everybody else was upstairs, and I was downstairs working, and we had that old piano back there that belonged to Sam Kinnison.
Kinnison's old piano.
All right. And one day I'm in there working on the bathroom, and the goddamn piano plays like 3 notes. And I was like, what the fuck? And I ran upstairs, and I just sat down, and Bob Biggerstaff and Rachel used to work up in the office, and Pete was there. And they're like, what's the deal? I was like, nothing, man. It just got a little weird down there. And then Pete was like, what's the deal, man? And I was like, I heard that goddamn piano play, and it just seemed weird. He's like, oh, bullshit. That shit ain't real or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool, man. You know, Pete, big old
Yeah.
narcissistic dickhead. So we go downstairs, and we go in there, and I'm grabbing my stuff out of the bathroom because I was about to start working on the showroom. And we walk up into the back of the showroom, and we hear plink. And all I see, like, how he didn't run over me getting out of that showroom. It was Pete Crowley. And he was going about 100 miles an hour this way all of a sudden. And then plink, plink. Like, and then I was following him and trying to get out. I don't know. You know, all I know, he could have got hot in the building and the piano made a funny noise. I don't fucking know.
The odds of science of a wire getting, I know there's 100
a
ways.
roach crawling across the hammers.
Because
you know?
all it is a hammer hitting a string.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. And the odds of it being 100 different things that I could probably
And not
give you
Sam
maybes
Kinison.
and not being Sam Kinison
You know.
are
Really good. Yeah, I am a scientific man. I
2,
get it.
3
I
notes.
understand.
Totally.
You'd have to be like, and then it started playing Duke Ellington.
Oh,
Then I'd be like, oh, how about this bitch?
He wasn't that good of a piano player. I don't know if you ever
Yeah.
heard him. But
Yeah.
we also snuck into, so I don't know if you remember Jefferson Davis's hospital right here in Houston. It got turned into these lofts, these artist lofts or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But it was old hospital, goes back to like damn near Civil War times. And for years, they shut down the hospital. Years, people claimed it's haunted, Civil War soldiers walking down the halls, all this kind of crazy
Right.
shit. So in the mid-'80s, when they were doing some maintenance projects over there behind the building, they started digging it up and found out that this was a Civil War and Oddfellows cemetery, and they just built this fucking hospital on top of it, and they started digging all these bodies out and finding all this jewelry and cool shit.
See, like, we gotta stop doing that.
So-
Regardless of whether you think
Yeah.
ghosts are real.
Yeah, these are definitely
like,
Confederate-
We gotta stop doing that shit, man. That is bad
Well,
juju.
people
That's
didn't-
bad luck.
People didn't keep good.
A racist
People didn't
ghost?
keep good records back then.
Yeah,
So
you shouldn't build on. You shouldn't build on.
we
Oh shit! We found this body.
Jigaboo.
Should we keep going?
me and my friends snuck in there on Halloween, like 2005, 2004, and we were gonna just try to spend the night in the haunted hospital, right? And so we go up there. It's me and these 2 lesbians, giant lesbians, and I'm the only one. Yes, large lesbians, and I'm the only one that has the flashlight. And I'll never forget. Like we go down in the basement, which is really creepy because that was the nursery, and they still got the old, like 1900s baby carriages, which are terrifying
Well, I'm not
looking
trying
anyway.
to go see ghost bassinets.
And we're like walking around down there, and one of the lesbians keeps going, "Hey, let me see the light." I'm like, "No, bitch, back off my light. It's my light." You know, if anybody's getting out of here, it's me. I ain't hooking up with either one of you. I'm getting free. You know. And so then we go up to the top, and we're up in the top part of it, hanging out, and there's all this graffiti and shit, and you know, it's just gang shit and stupid shit. And we're walking around up there, and one of them kicks something, and it breaks a piece of wood off the door, and that piece of wood slaps, and I left them. I left them. I was out the front door of that hospital at my truck, and we didn't even know because that place was under guardianship of the fire department at the time.
Oh.
So I get to my truck, and there's a huge firefighter waiting for me with 3 Houston cops. And I'm trying to tell the lesbians to go back in the haunted house because they're going to go to jail, too. And I'm going, y'all stay in there. And they're going, hell no. I'm going, y'all stay in there. They're going, hell no. And the cop's like, shut up. Okay. And they come out, and I'm in handcuffs. And I'm like, yeah, I told you. Told you stay in there. Weren't no ghost, just a broken door. Now I'm going to jail.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, man.
Y'all ass get.
Didn't go to jail, just got a trespassing ticket. But
That's so funny though, man.
and now it's like artist lofts and stuff. But if you read about it, it was considered one of the most haunted places in America.
I'm
for
down.
years.
I'm
Absolutely.
down to go anywhere someone says is haunted if I can see a ghost.
But
I can't go for some. I can't go for some noises in the dark.
So I used to be real scary of all that stuff. I'm not anymore. I'm a different person than I used to be. So now I'm like, if you think you got some haunted place, I'll come in there and hang out with my iPod all night, and I'll be just fine.
I'm in. I'm curious. Let's go ghost hunting,
Ain't
y'all.
nothing gonna get me.
Yeah, I'm in.
Can
No,
you
I'm
find
Ghosts
us
are
a-
transparent. They can't pick my ass
Well,
up.
that's
Can
kind of
you-
like that's kind of the thing.
They
It's
might
like
get 'em a tray.
I don't want to necessarily believe that like what I caught with my camera is a ghost, but like I feel like
So we'll
I will
put
send
it-
them to you. The
But
legs
here's
are
what we'll
like
do.
really
We'll put
skinny
it.
and
We'll put it in Photoshop, and you can turn the shadow. We'll like go into Lightroom or something, and we'll fuck with the shadows, and we'll
Oh,
see
yeah.
what else is there, because it's surprising what you can
totally.
uncover in a.
No, I'm actually really
yeah.
down for that because like I play the live photo, like I told you, it looks like somebody's walking and then they freeze.
But
and
let's
then
see.
The next
Yeah, let's see
burst,
what we
they're
got.
just
Maybe
gone.
we don't see anything. Maybe we do.
I'm good. I'm
down.
not ghost hunting.
So all this is Nick
You're-
Cage's fault.
you're
Is that what we're
you're
saying?
Oh
done.
yeah, Nicolas Cage did this to me because I didn't like Ghost Rider 2, and I think the fact that he has an above ground tomb for some reason is
Oh, yeah,
so
they saw his
funny.
ass coming.
Well, but
And
I
it's
the
save
whole
you from
state
your
of Louisiana
misfortune.
is below sea level. Like I feel like Louisiana's gonna like chip off and sink into its own sinkhole before Nick Cage.
Well,
why
can only
everybody's
hope.
living in. That's why everybody's living in $150,000 boxes they
Is
bought
it Nick
from voodoo
Cage's
priests.
fault? It's like Nick Cage's fault that Louisiana just sinks.
Thanks, yeah.
It's easy to blame as any other.
Yeah, that's fair
we didn't
enough.
use government money to rebuild our levee, but it's Nick Cage's fault.
Right.
Lots of they're laughing at giant lesbians in the chat.
Yeah,
Rightfully
they
so.
were both tipping about 310.
What's up to everybody?
What did y'all walk there?
No, we
don't
drove.
see
It was
shit
over on
in-
Elder Street. We drove to Elder Street and we pulled up behind it and parked and got out and just jimmied the door
I
to
didn't
get
know
in.
y'all owned a tank.
Uh,
A lot of weight and whatever.
Actually,
fuck
one of the
y'all was in.
lesbians had a H2 Hummer. That's what we
H2
were in.
There you
That's one
go.
of my favorite. That's one of my favorite.
Ironic, something they've never given.
I
The,
jumped that bitch in Galveston. It was crazy.
All right, we should probably pin this one. Abbey Vollman, thank you for sitting in. Where can they find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram, weirdo.abby. You can find me on TikTok,
right?
ABBEY. Honestly, if you just type my name, Abbey Vollman, into Google or the internet, you'll probably find me.
You can see the continued adventures of her new fish, Gary. I hate to
Larry.
break that,
R.I.P.
or Larry,
R.I.P.
or whatever it
Gary.
is. I hate to break that news to the world, but
all
Oh, Larry.
we cracked it first. Trey Tutson, good luck in Seattle.
Thanks
You
again.
are.
Big leg.
I won't see you again until after there will be results. When I get back,
Holy
I
shit,
will.
that's right.
Jerry and I will be flying this in some capacity. Jerry Wayne Longmire, your special comes out November 27th. I believe that is a Saturday.
And I'm gonna watch it.
We're all gonna watch it. We had some good hands in it. It's been fun, beginning to end, and I'm very proud of the end result. You can always
Yeah.
follow along the rest of our adventures on Slade Runner if you want to see some of the overseas stuff. That's on my YouTube channel. But more importantly, subscribe to all of us individually and to us collectively at the Whiskey Brothers, because that's the best way to find out when new stuff happens. The premiere of Just the Bit. A very cool
December 10th.
episodic show that we are working on. Adam Taylor and Rob Nielsen have put together. That's going to be at the Deluxe Theater in Houston, December 10th. Those tickets will be available very soon. You'll be able to get the link on All Things Social through any of us. Jerry Wayne is hosting that. I think that covers all the pertinent stuff. The Whiskey Brothers Christmas Show, December 17th. That is a Friday. You're going to want to get your tickets from the Secret Group. We're going to sell that out almost certainly. Everybody at the table will be there, including Sam Damaris and some other guests.
And we're just going to do one show this time.
One show
We're
guaranteed.
not trying that again.
No, sirree. Cheers to all the rest of you. I will kill the final shot. Thank you again, Adam, for back of house, as always, and making us look fly as shit. More Whiskey Brothers soon.
They don't want no problems. Nah.
Music provided by Scarface. Thank you for listening to yet another excellent episode of the Whiskey Brothers Podcast, the world's funniest podcast ever. The Whiskey Brothers Podcast was made in America by Americans, mostly in and around the Houston area. All content copyright the Whiskey Brothers. This concludes our broadcast day. Goodbye.